You can imagine Excel as kind of a giant calculator. You type in data and numbers and information into it, and then you tell it to complete calculations. The calculations that you tell it to do are called formulas. There are a range of built-in formulas that you can use, but you can also insert and type in your own formulas. To use built-in formulas, select the Home tab and then find the Autosum icon in the Editing group. If you select the drop-down, you'll find Sum, Average, Count Numbers, Max, and Minimum. There are more functions in the More Functions options, but they get quite advanced. You can find the same options in the Formulas tab, where the Autosum is the second option available. To use one of these functions, you first must select a cell where you want the answer to be. For example, you might be wanting to sum a row or a column, so you would place your cursor at the bottom of that column or row. You would then select the Autosum option. This will automatically interpret and highlight what information you want to select. If it's selected the right information, you can hit the Enter key on your keyboard and it will complete the calculation. If it has not automatically selected the data that you want, you can choose your data using your mouse. You can click and highlight a cell or multiple cells. If there is a gap or a break in your data, use your Control key on your keyboard to select multiple data sets. Highlight the first column of data whilst holding the Control key, click off, and then start highlighting the second piece of data. It might take a couple of times to get this skill down, but it's very handy to know. Follow the same pattern if you're using any of the built-in options. If you have completed a calculation and you've got to do more of the exact same style, you can use the Autofill feature to help you complete this. Autofill will adjust a calculation relative to the cell that it is in. For example, you might be summing all the contents of column E. When you use the Autofill function, it will sum all the contents of column F. It will sum the contents relative to the new location. To use the Autofill function, select the cell with the calculation in it that you want to copy, and you'll notice that there is a square at the bottom right. Hover your mouse over the square and then click and hold with the left mouse key. As you drag this to your left, right, up or down, it will calculate. This function is very handy to know, as it saves a lot of time when working on spreadsheets. You can also enter in your own equations into your spreadsheet. For example, you might want to do 2 plus 2. To complete this task, select the cell that you want to use and type in the equal sign. The equal sign must always be used when you're typing in your own equation. It identifies that there is an equation coming. Now that the software knows there's an equation, you can type in 2 plus 2. You can hit the Enter key to complete the calculation. The plus and the minus key are clear on your keyboards. The multiplication key will be an asterisk, and the division key will be a forward slash. To change your equation to multiplication or division, you'd simply select your cell and then type in the equation with the right icon. We have just shown you how to type in a formula, but what we're going to show you now is a better way of doing it, which once again uses relative cells. This means instead of adding 2 plus 2, you would use the data in the cells in the equation. An example of this would be A1 plus B1, which is using cell A1 and adding it to cell B1. The reason that you'd use these relative cells is that if you changed your data, your equations would automatically update. For example, if A1 equals 2 and B1 equals 2, the calculation would show that it equals 4. But if B1 changed to B3, then the answer would then equal 5. If you had just typed in equals 2 plus 2, you'd have to go and manually change every equation in your spreadsheet. Always use the relative formulas. To insert a relative formula, select the cell where you want it to go, type the equals key. From here, you can click on the cell that you want to use, for example, E2, and then add in the plus, minus, multiplication or division symbol, and then select the second cell that you want to use. You can then click enter and it will show the answer to your equation. We won't go through all the different types of equations, but watch on as they show you how to do a percentage increase, but then a percentage increase that also adds to the original amount. When using formulas, you want to make sure that you're using the right ones. To check the formulas that have been used, select the Formulas tab. Then find the Formula Auditing option group. If you click Show Formulas, it will show all the formulas used on your spreadsheet. From here, you can identify visually if anything looks wrong. To go back to the original view, simply click Show Formulas again. You can also use the error checking option just below Show Formulas. An error will occur when a formula hasn't been written in correctly. If you click Error Checking, it will run like a spell check and check your entire sheet for errors.